Hey, everybody. How are you today? I sound a little groggy this morning, but I am glad to be back. We took a week off and played a recording, but I am glad to be back with some exciting news. Yay! I'm excited. I use that word excitement because I'm usually always excited to invite other people in and to say, hey, I'm excited to share with you this person or that person. Well, today I'm here to share with you about myself. And I'm sharing with you about myself because I am excited to announce that as of last Friday, October the 21st, I launched my first book that I published on my own entitled Relationships Are Driving Me Crazy. And I am just grateful for this project. It has been a long awaited project that I have been waiting for forever. Since 2014 I started writing this book, you guys. So if you guys have not ordered it, thank you to everyone who has actually went out and supported and actually purchased the book and purchased it online, the people that purchased it at the marriage getaway. It was so exciting to see that I sold out of a whole box of books. But I finally did it, you guys. I finally published my Relationships Driving Me Crazy, but God's Love Heals. And this is my new project that I've worked on by myself. Shout out to Destined to Publish with Marilyn Alexander. If you guys are looking to publish, that's where you need to go. I wanted to do this and I wanted someone to interview me, and that's still going to happen. So be on the lookout because we're going to talk about this a little bit. I have some workshops coming up, some seminars. I have some opportunities for us to do some coaching in relationships. I always smile and say, God gave me a PhD in relationships. And I don't know why I say that. I mean, it's an honorary thing. I kind of make a joke about it. But what I love, I got my special jacket on to celebrate myself. You need to celebrate you. It's not very common that I will celebrate me because, and people say, well, you got Neesha behind your name, so it's Neesha's Network. Yeah, but I'm usually still promoting everybody else. So, if you have not purchased this book, go ahead and do it. I want to give you a little insight about the book today. Some of the chapters that I have actually written about, and I want to share just a little bit. So, I'm going to try to take my time and slow down because I'm talking by myself today to the audience of however many you all are watching. But the inspiration behind the word crazy, I know some people say, you know what, and especially with mental health running rampant today, more so than ever. The crazy I'm talking about is does not have to do with your mental health, but it has to do with your mental health. Um, so I'm going to read the back of the book just for you guys who don't have it yet, and so that we could kind of like talk and dive into it a little bit. It says, "Don't be alarmed by the word crazy. It's a mere figure of speech. People use the term loosely all the time, and most of the time it is not used in a literal way. My goal is to draw you closer to a definition that says crazy can mean unusual, infatuated, obsessed to an extreme degree, and wildly extreme. I want to make sure you know that when I use the term crazy, it means all of these things to me. In relationships, we are crazy to think, crazy to love, crazy to learn, crazy to laugh, and crazy to live. It's an intense thing, obsessive at times, and wildly extreme. What is it about relationships that drive us crazy? We all have moments that could take us to a point where we need to pause and breathe and be like, I just feel like everything is crazy right now. Examining our crazy can allow us to reflect and especially pray. In this book, I hope that y'all will help you to define the crazy in your relationships. And with that, never forget that you can navigate through each of them when you have the most important relationship of all, being one with Jesus, and discover and continue to discover that God's love heals it all. Discover and then continue to discover because every day is a new discovery of crazy, right? So this is my new book, you guys, published last week. Well, it was launched last week, and I'm very grateful for it. And I want to talk about a little bit about 2014 when I started writing this book. Shout out to my cousin, Dr. Stephanie Oliver, who prophesied to me way back. I was at a Woman Thou Art Loose conference, and she was living in Atlanta at the time with her husband and kids. And I was like, she said, I was telling her all about the Woman Thou Art Loose conference, and I was really excited and everything. And she paused. She said, I'm waiting. I said, why are you smiling? She said, I'm waiting till you're done. And I said, well, okay. I said, well, I'm done. I'll stop talking. And I was trying to speak to her about the ministry that was received. And she spoke into my life and she said, God said you're going to author many books. Now, never in a million years did I even think that I will publish one, let alone several. So I am proud to say that I am co-author and the author now of 4 books. And when I wrote this book, you guys, I was really struggling with relationships. I remember like it was yesterday. I was struggling in a salon, and I was in a smaller environment. I was trying to decide whether I was going to renew my lease. I was struggling with some of my friendships and my relationships and my family. I had just became a frustrated tumbleweed. I had just become a person that was like, God, why in the world did you make me to care so much? And I always laugh because Wes says this to me all the time. He said, your blessing is your curse. You're blessed to be able to love people hard, but then you're cursed with the fact that it torments you when things are not right. I am that person, you guys, that I'm gonna try to get it right. And I am not perfect by any stretch of imagination, but I am going to do my best to get it right within the relationships, because relationships were God's idea. And people need people. And I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I didn't have a lot of people. I had select few people. But because we were sheltered and in an environment where we weren't allowed to do a lot of the things that my friends were able to do, and then just having so many siblings and growing up in the church, a lot of things I just kind of was like, you know what, Lord, I just really don't have a lot of people that really were in my corner. And if I did, I didn't acknowledge it, or I didn't recognize it, or I didn't feel it. I found myself always trying to fill other people's voids. And that really made me struggle. I got a frog in my voice for more than one reason, but I think it's a little emotional talking about it, because I wanted more. I knew I wanted more. I always gleaned after looking for the finer things in life, or trying to find people that I knew were doing better than me. And I tried to fit in. And it took me so long to really start liking me. It took me so long to have the relationship with me, myself, and I, which I talk about in one of the chapters. And I just want to mention that and pause right there to say, how many of you all have a relationship with me, myself, and I? Who has a relationship with me, myself, and I? I don't know. If you don't, you need to get one. The me, the Neesha me, the myself that needs to be taken care of, and the I that needs to choose me sometimes rather than choosing everyone and everybody else. Um, I think that the Lord brought that to my attention, and He showed me that I needed to begin to lean on Him and depend on Him to find out who I really was. Because every time a relationship would appear to become damaged, or the relationship will begin to struggle, I found myself so frustrated, and I found myself hurting inside. And I found myself just aiming to please others because at least they could feel better. But how many of you all know you have to put that magnifying glass and ask the Lord to examine your heart and see where you are? And so therein, I wrote this book, Relationships Driving Me Crazy, but God's Love Heals, because His love is what kept drawing me back to the place to say, hey, Neesha, let me knock on your door. You need to spend time with me. You need to talk to me about you. And I had put God in such a space, you guys, where I put Him on this elevated space where I couldn't talk to Him. I found myself always repenting. I found myself always struggling. I found myself always getting saved again, as many of you all who grew up in the church, over and over again, just kept giving my life to Christ over and over again. And it was really a frustrating space and place. And the crazy in my life began to continue because I was always looking for the more. I was always looking for the better. I was always looking for somebody to give me more insight. And I didn't know that it was everything I had was inside of me, and everything that I had was inside of the Word of God. You know, there's a cycle, and there's a cycle that continues to keep rolling over and over and over again in your head until you really stop and pause and breathe. And I talked about that. You know, you have to take a moment to pause and to breathe and reevaluate exactly what would have happened, what could happen. you know? So anyway, I'm multitasking because I was gonna have one of my sisters to Pastor Shauna Neal to interview me today, but I really just wanted to show up. I want to talk about no matter how long it takes for you to show up for yourself, no matter how much crazy life gets, no matter how crazy life gets with my tongue twistedness, everyone needs to make sure you show up. There is something about the show up, and I had to show up for this book several times. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the chapters. Okay, I'm gonna pause so because I showed up today. Okay, all right. Um, One of the chapters is called "Waiting on You," and I was really waiting on this big, huge relationship that Wes. I wanted him to show up for. I wanted this spectacular, uh, anointed, super deep um, situation to happen in my marriage. And not that our marriage was in a bad space, but we had just kind of stopped going to church. And Wes was like, you know what, I'm done with fake people, and I'm all of this. And he was like, and this was very early in our marriage. And so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna just wait on you then. And the Lord spoke to me and said, and I had a broken ankle, and I think I had just had yelly. I think that's what it was. I had just had yelly. And the Lord said to me, while you're waiting on Wes, I'm waiting on you. I was like, wow. And that was the first time I heard the Lord speak so clearly to me. And it scared me because I was at home alone on a rainy night when I heard that. He said, while you're waiting on Wes, I'm waiting on you. And that was that area where I had to catch myself and say, okay, let me get my crazy behind up, because either I'm going crazy or I'm really hearing the voice of the Lord and He is telling me to get my act together. And I am able to use that testimony as an encouragement to wives and to women who are waiting on someone or something, or your husband or a family member. And God is saying, why are you waiting on them to change? I'm waiting on you. Why are you waiting on them to show up? I'm waiting on you. So get about your Father's business so that you won't go crazy. Get about your Father's business. And when you feel like you're struggling, get in the face of God and go hard after Him like never before. And He'll begin to heal those areas while you're waiting on someone else. Okay. That's the first one. All right. The next one is relationship baggage. I talk about relationship baggage because we all come into every relationship with some type of baggage. We have our story, they have their story, right? And I speak to a lot of people that are single, which I'm going to be doing a workshop, ladies, for single women and single men, for singles, to talk about. We want someone new, we want someone fresh, but what do you need to release? And what suitcases and luggage, no matter how amazing it is, even if you have Louis Vuitton luggage, or if you have what do you call it? Gucci, or all any of the name brand luggage that you may have that is so amazing. What is it filled with? Do you need to unpack your luggage before you're waiting on God to show up for you? And that could be in any relationship. We have to unpack those things. Sometimes we have luggage from our parents. Sometimes we packed in luggage from previous jobs and workplaces and churches. We got so much luggage. It's filled. Our bags are packed, and it is contaminating every relationship that we have, because we are so stuck on how much we've carried and where we've been and what we've experienced, that we have not taken the time to unload the baggage, you know? And all baggage is not bad baggage. It's just, it doesn't belong in every relationship. So that's one area. I'm definitely interested in doing that. I'm excited about that. I had to learn that the hard way, because I was trying to carry people over to come into my world. It's like, you know what? What do I need to release, or what do they need to release to the Lord before you talk about let's build a relationship? You know. So that's another one. One of the topic chapters says rescue me. Oh my God, this chapter right here, rescue me. So many of us into a rescue oriented relationship, and that part is very hard. A lot of relationships fail because you're rescuing someone from something, or they're rescuing you from something. And really, we need to define, Lord, why is this person in my life? Sometimes we're the fix it person and we come into each other's lives and relationships and we decide to just dive right in, answer, and not even ask the Lord or consult Him about what was the purpose in this relationship. So I talked about this a little bit yesterday, speaking to some people, but we have to be intentional about knowing that God He's designed every relationship, but what is the purpose behind it? Even if it's a relationship with your job, sometimes we just take any job because, oh my God, this must be from God. I'll never forget the years ago, I opened a salon and the Lord told me, He didn't tell me, I didn't ask Him, I didn't consult Him. It just seemed like the ducks lined up for me to open it. And Wes even said to me, babe, are you sure? I don't think this is a wise idea. But he went ahead and said, okay, if this is what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? And I have to tell you, many awesome, amazing relationships were built from that. Many amazing experiences. I had baby showers in that salon. I had bridal showers. I had parties. I had marriage nights. I had date nights. I had women's ministry. I did all this stuff, and some good came out of that. But guess what? It was the wrong space and the wrong time. And guess who suffered? Me. I suffered because I didn't consult God. All things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purposes, the Bible tells us. But does that mean you're not going to suffer along the way because you didn't even take the time to ask the Lord, hey, was this for me? Was this my assignment? Was this my timing? Is this my space? Woo! That right there. And because of that, the damage I suffered from opening that space, I literally did not go to 170 Fifth and Halsted for many years. I literally avoided going down that way because of the pain that it represented. So I literally just took a step back and I was like, just forget it. I won't even go over there. It brought so much pain. 9/11 happened that year that I signed the lease to that space. Every road that could have been blocked was blocked, but I'm going to push that circle into that square peg. I'm going to do everything I can because it just looks like this was a God thing. But it wasn't a God thing. It was a Neesha thing. God made it work for my good. But I suffered. My health suffered. My relationship suffered. Wes almost lost his job. He was working night and day to put that salon together. So we have to be intentional about understanding what are you diving into something for? So that's that rescue. That rescue of that salon, me opening that salon was like me trying to prove to myself that this was a great space and place and timing. And it was not. It was not God's timing. So that's a whole nother story. That's a chapter, Rescue Me. And then The Great Escape. Oh, this one. I won't go into deep, but The Great Escape is a great topic to talk about in relationships. Emotions, emotional driven relationships. Grace, grace, grace is what I always say. And grace, grace, grace is a whole topic by itself. Breaking the cycle of your crazy. How do you do that? Restored relationships. What does it look like when your relationships are restored? And then crazy to healed. And after every chapter, you guys, there's information on where you can take some time to actually you can actually take some notes and talk about your kind of crazy that you want God to heal you from. The other thing I wanted to share is that I had the privilege of my sisters and my cousins and a few of my sister friends to write after each chapter. And that part was such a blessing because I needed them to show up. So they showed up in a way to give me their perspective on relationships. And some of it was like, okay, I see y'all talking about me a little bit in this book, but that's okay because you want real, authentic relationships. You want people to be able to dive into the real parts of you. You don't want a fake relationship. And this is the part where I literally have consulted the Lord and will continue to seek Him about every area of my life. People matter, you guys. And sometimes we throw them away because of the disappointments in life. Sometimes we get frustrated because we want to say, you know what, I just want to quit this relationship. And I always say this, and I wrote it in the book, that saying that says, get me once, shame on you, but get me twice, shame on me. You're not going to get me again. Well, Lord, what purpose do you have in this get me? Where did I not hear you clearly? Or what roads did you have me travel intentionally because you wanted me to experience something that I've never experienced before so that I can love on the people that need to be loved? I want everyone to really take the time to know that if there's any crazy in your relationship, God's love will heal that. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to stay in a quandary, or it doesn't have to be a mystery. You can consult the one who designed the relationships. Okay, you can consult the ones that designed the relationship. What purpose do you have in this? Get me. I love that, Rachel. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for responding. And if you're watching, please share. I really appreciate it. Share, share, share. Please, and so that we can experience this great assignment that is on our lives for right now in this season. And this is just the part one, you guys. I've got like 7 other chapters that I didn't even publish inside this book. So I wanted to give a shout out to my sisters, none other than Cynthia Means, Pastor Shauna Neal, Deborah Anthony, Rachel Jones, and Tiffany Crawford, who wrote some excerpts and a chapter behind a chapter. And then my beautiful daughters, Kristen, Dean, Danielle Bonds, Nia Robinson, and Kaylani Tamal. They also wrote in the book. My cousin, Dr. Raquel Rovius, she wrote in the book. And then Pastor Miriam McFarland, my auntie. And then my beautiful mom, who at the ninth hour showed up for me and had to do some more editing. I really appreciate her. Thank you, Mom. Y'all see my book in the back? Relationship driving me crazy. Okay, if I'm not holding it up, you see it back there. And then also my sister friends who have been my friends for a very long time. And I have a lot of friends, you all. Like, I have a lot of people in my life, but there are few who have walked journeys with me. I'm getting a little choked up. Um, through some good times and some bad times. And that's none other than Brenda Baker and Carla Mosley. Um, my sister and good friend since the age of 8 years old, Yolanda. She's Pastor Yolanda. She's Lady Yolanda, Lady Liv, Yolanda Livingston. My good friend Tasha Hart that I met on Clubhouse, Puzzle to Purpose. She literally helped me push it out. Last fall, I was struggling, I was frustrated, and she said, "Come on, Neesha, we'll get it done." And she pushed me to finish it, and she actually um, helped me to really edit in a way that nobody else could, and it was a blessing. And so thank you, Tasha. She's puzzled to purpose. She's a puzzle lady. And then my good sister friend, Marilyn Alexander from Destined to Publish, who made me push it out. And I just want to say, you guys, even in the relationship with that, and I'm gonna be transparent. Um, Sometimes you get mad at other people because you wanted something to happen in your timing, and you were frustrated with them, and you got an attitude with them, and you were like, how come this didn't show up? This is all I asked you to do. And I was a little mad at Marilyn some years ago, and she knows it. And we've worked through it and talked about it. But the truth is that, have you finished your part of the process before you start blaming others? Okay. So I had to repent to her. Have you finished the part that you were supposed to finish in a relationship before you go pointing the finger? That right there will preach all by itself. Sometimes, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a leader, whether you're a boss, whether you are a coworker, whether you're a sister, friend, wife, husband, mother, daughter, any relationship. Let me just say that this book is not just for marriage at all. It's not for marriage at all. It's for every relationship. But you can be pointing the finger at someone else about being frustrated with them because they didn't help you complete the process that you thought, or they were supposed to stick around, or they were supposed to be there for you. And what happened? You didn't even finish your part you had to play. Did you give the grace that God allowed you to give in that relationship? Or were you so frustrated with the part that they didn't do that you begin to blame somebody else? It's real easy for us to put that magnifying glass on somebody else and all of their flaws and all of their idiosyncrasies and all of their things that just, make you tick. And you have not finished the part that God has called you to. Have we arrived yet? No, we have not. We have not arrived. So do not get frustrated with the next person. Begin as my sister says, take them to the altar and ask the Lord to heal the part in you that is frustrating. Some of us get stuck. I was stuck. I didn't even want to finish this book. I was like, just forget it. Maybe it's not meant to be published. I was just like, forget it. But God began to reveal to me the stinkiness inside of me. He began to show me that I wasn't complete. And I had to walk through some more journeys before I can complete this project. And it's still not over. I'm emotional about it, as y'all can see. But the truth is that, Lord, create in me a clean heart. Renew the right spirit within me. Blot out my transgressions. Show me you, Lord, and show me me. Give me the parts, examine my heart, Lord God, and show me what areas where I'm acting crazy and I'm trying to blame it on everybody else. A lot of us won't go sit in front of a counselor. A lot of us won't sit and get wise counsel and sit there and begin to examine those areas of your life that are broken. A lot of us are preaching to the masses broken. A lot of us are teaching broken. A lot of us are singing and worshiping broken. Yes, the Lord desires a broken spirit and a contrite heart. Absolutely. But when you are broken, you begin to take your brokenness and you begin to bleed on somebody else. You begin to struggle with somebody else. And I find myself funny if you always find yourself looking over your shoulder and like trying to see what people are up to, you need to really say, what's going on with me? I went through an experience with church hurt at one time where I was really just thinking that this relationship will last forever. And it doesn't mean that the relationship doesn't have to last forever, it just may shift. But some of us can't handle the shift in relationships. Some of us don't know when to stop. Neesha being one of them. I have a friend right now who has not spoken to me in probably over 6 years. And I have broke my back trying to figure out what in the world went wrong. I was like, what did I do, Wes? Where did I go wrong? They won't even talk to me and I don't even understand. And it's a friend that I thought was a friend. Seasons, reasons, and lifetimes. You all have heard the saying. Every season will come and every season will go. And does God want them to be that post in your life just to hold up a certain part of your life? Or does he want them to be a pillar to last forever? And sometimes when the Bible says, thou shalt have no other gods before me, that sometimes we put people as gods. We put people in front of the situation and put people in front of God. We're so gung-ho on trying to prove our point. I'm the show up queen. I'm going to show up no matter what. Sickness, disease, no matter what. You're going to see me. Is that God? Do you want them to see you or do you want them to see him? Oh, that's good. That's a Selah moment. Do you want people to see you or do you want them to see the Christ that lives down on the inside of you? And I can't negate this. This book can fit all walks of life, but I can't negate the fact that my surrender is to the Lord. And I wrote this book for the Lord to heal me. I'm thinking I'm writing it for everybody else. So if nobody picks it up, I've been going in it and reading it over and over and over again. And the Lord is just talking to me. He's sharing with me the areas where I need healing and where I need wholeness. And it's not always easy, you guys. But God's love heals. His love covers the multitude of sin. And that don't mean just keep staying stuck. That means take the time to say, Lord, what area do you want to heal in me? The crazy I have in my life. And you can identify your crazy because you could be crazy to love, crazy to laugh, crazy. You don't have to be crazy like of frustrating. I know there may be some people that say, well, why would you use the word crazy? Because this was driving me crazy. At one point, the title said the relationship's driving us crazy. No, question mark. No. This is Neesha's journey. Okay. I'm going to talk about the healing that God did for me. Okay. And every day there should be something that you can yield to the Father to say, God, this day was a great day. But even the parts of me that's crazy that didn't work out, would you heal those areas? Would you reveal? And I'm going to tell you all something. Asking God to reveal himself to you. Whoa. One year I asked him, Lord, ride me out like a sewer. When you get in there and get all the stuff that you don't see, that you just see the water swishing around, but get the stuff that may get caught up in there. We're going to talk about that in some of the workshops that I'm going to host. But, and I asked the Lord to do that and he began to do that. But when you ask him to do that, you got to be ready, y'all. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. You have to be ready. Get ready for your miracle. Okay. All right. Anyway, I digress. So this is just a little taste of what's inside the book. And It tells a little bit about me and a little bit about what you'll get. And it's just a lot of emotions wrapped up in this book, y'all. But I thank you for those who have purchased it. I thank you for those who have shared it. I thank you for those who are commenting this morning. It means so, so much to me. I'm asking that you share. I would like to grow my the Lord to enlarge my territory. And I would like for open doors of opportunity for us to be able to heal together. I believe God has given me a gift in relationships, not just because I've been in the hair industry over 30 years, not just because I have a huge family, not be just because I've been born, bred, and conceived in the church, and not because I have a relationship with so many people, but because the love of God I desire to Him to be shine inside of me, shine through me, not Neesha shine, but I want Jesus to shine. I want God's love to heal us. Okay. All right. It's been good this morning. I did it by myself. I will be back to talk more about it. Relationships driving me crazy, but God's love heals. And I appreciate all of you all. If you guys are interested in any type of information from me, if you want to coach and you ready to be coached, crumblenot.com, building marriages and families that don't crumble. If you guys are interested in receiving business coaching, you can go to nichasnetwork.com or just inbox me. And if you are interested in our outreach ministry, heartlifetoday.org. I never ever like try to promote myself, but today I am promoting all things so that God can get the glory, not Neesha, but so God can get the glory. So go purchase your book today on Amazon, you guys. Please share, share, share. We will have workshops and seminars, and there's information coming soon about those opportunities for you guys to join in. Book clubs, great book for book clubs because it will draw in some stuff. As a matter of fact, I think that I'm going to join one just to see how it goes. Super excited. Love you guys so, so much. And thank you so much for being a part of Neesha's Network. You can go to nichasnetwork.com if you want to subscribe to our membership. We have monthly masterminds. We have opportunities for resources and all these things. It's so much that God has gifted me with relationships. And I'm grateful and I'm humbled. So I pray that God blesses each and every one of your relationships, whether it's through parenting, whether it's through jobs, whether it's through church, whether it's through marriage, whether it's through dating, whatever it is, children, whatever it is. I pray that God blesses you so that the relationships that are driving you crazy that you have an opportunity to share the love of God. Okay. Until next time, you guys have an amazing day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Connecting vibe, connecting vibe, connecting vibe, connecting vibe, connecting vibe.